Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are going to go ahead and do a Starship Beyond gameplay review here. It just came out on August 1st. At least the demo version of it came out, which is in my version is the alpha. It is available as of August 1st, which is less than 24 hours ago. At the time of this recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give you some high-level details of the game, what it's all about, and then go ahead and dive into the actual game and show some gameplay so you are familiar with what it looks like, and you can make a decision what's best for you as far as do you want to jump into it, test it out. I will be talking about a sale in this video, so I want to make sure that you all understand that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial professional. So please make sure you do your own research and just make sure it's right for your situation before you buy into any game or jump into any game. Don't just take my word for it. I'm just a gamer playing a game, showing you the game. All right. Also, full transparency, they did provide this founder's badge for me to access the game, so I could go ahead and show you the gameplay. Again, trying to be as transparent as possible with these gameplay reviews. So let's talk about the game itself. This is Starship Beyond. It is from the studio Metasource Games. They have provided games like Castles, which has been around the Wax blockchain for a very long period of time. I would say almost 2 years now. Which is crazy. So they have brought this to us. This is a skill-based game. It's an MMO. Well, it will be an MMO. So right now it's single player, but down the road it'll be multiplayer. And it's a very interesting style game. One of the questions that came up, they actually were part of NFTopia, one of the AMAs, and one of the questions that came up was around the name itself. What you'll notice is that the game is not Starship. You won't actually see starships, at least the initial gameplay that we're going to show here. I guess the premise of the Starship is your home is in a starship. And then you go ahead and you port down to these different planets to get resources, defeat enemies, and then you go back up to your starship. So that's where the name comes from, which was one of the main questions that popped up, or one of the early questions that popped up on the AMA with NFTopia. What this is essentially going to be is you're going to go around and you're going to go into these different planets. And it's a very pixel-based game, so you'll notice that if you like pixel-based games, you're going to love this. And you run around and you go ahead and attack. It's going to be on 3 different platforms: Android, mobile, PC, and then eventually it's going to be on iOS. So please understand, when you go ahead and play this, right now the only 2 platforms that are available is Android for mobile and also for PC. They are still working through. If you're not familiar with what it takes to get through the iOS app approval process, it is painful. Most applications that go through that have a tough time, especially if they are NFT related games. So they are working through that now. They're hoping to have that available soon. So what I'll be showing here is the PC version. And the first thing that you're going to see when we open up the PC version, it is very, very, very mobile friendly, which we'll talk about here more. To give you a little bit more information about the project itself, I'm not going to dive through the white paper. I'd much rather go ahead and show you the game itself. But there's one thing that I did want to highlight because it's going on right now. If you want to get access to the demo, they do have a founder's badge sale going on. The way it's been marketed, I don't think it really features or shows everything that's included in that. It is currently $80 in Wax. Or you could use Nifty, which is, you can use a credit card now on Nifty. So it is $80 to get the Founders Pass. It gives you access to the demo and all the updates that are going to happen between now and the actual launch itself. But that's not the only benefit to it. And I wish, as far from a marketing perspective, they would have focused a lot on the additional items. So we are in the white paper right here. And obviously all white papers are subject to change, but I'm hoping this will stay the same. But it does give you a lot of items once the game actually launches. So there is a lot of benefits. The Founders Badge, it says that it's expected $100. Again, they did reduce it to $80 for this initial sale. But it does give you a lot of equipment, uncommon equipment that's indestructible. One of the things that you'll notice, there's going to be crafting involved and there's going to be repairing involved for your equipment in the game. So this gives you 3 pieces of equipment that way. There's also going to be season passes. It's going to be very season pass oriented and seasons oriented, because they're going to go from different planets, which will give you different resources and different items on the different planets. So you'll notice that what the Founders Pass does, it gives you 5 of those season passes. Also gives you the Forge. The Forge is going to be needed for crafting. It is, I believe, at least in the white paper, it's $10 to get the Forge separately. You get it as part of the Founders Badge. Plus, you get whitelist for the quarters, or I'm assuming that's the land version of the game, and then some shares as far as the drops that go on. So there is a whole lot more to this badge other than just access to the demo, which I wanted to make sure that was clear. I'm not trying to push you one way or the other. I wanted to make sure you had all the information to make a decision on your own. I'm just not sure why they didn't push that a little bit more as far as the other benefits that go along with the founder badge. But enough with that. So let's go ahead and talk about the game. I'm going to go ahead and actually jump into the game itself, and while I talk about the rest of the items that we're looking at, and actually show you some of the gameplay, and then give you my thoughts at the end. Let you know what I personally think about the game, what I think they could do as an adjustment. Before I jump into the game, I want to remind you, this is, again, they're calling this a demo. I call it essentially an alpha. So there is a lot that will be improved, a lot that will be changed based on feedback, based on other items as far as the game goes. So there will be changes. I've already provided my feedback to Josh and the team as far as my initial reviews go. So hopefully we'll see that, and then I'll let you know what that feedback is as we jump through the video. So let me go ahead and jump over to the game itself. All right, the game itself looks like this. It's alpha, so you're not going to get the pretty pictures and all the details. But this is the PC version. It is a downloadable application that you have to go ahead and run, similar with Android and eventually with iOS. You're going to come to this screen. So you're going to go ahead and log in. Go ahead and just click on that. You're going to be able to select your character looking, like I said, very pixel art based. So you can go through and click whatever character you want. We'll go ahead and pick Santa Claus here. It's the first time I saw this one. And we'll go ahead and click on choose. And you can go ahead and pick the different weapons that you're going to use. Button 1, this is essentially the physical item that you're going to use. You have a choice between an axe, you have a bow and arrow, you have a gun, and those are the 3 items that you can go ahead and pick. I did axe earlier. What I'll probably do for this, and I haven't tested either of these out. Let's go ahead and do the bow and arrow for this playthrough. And this is essentially a magic spell that you have that you can go ahead and use. You can use a shield. You can use the blaster, which I used the blaster last time, which basically gives you an AOS. It shoots out fireballs all around you. Then we'll go ahead and I actually like the fireball one, so we'll go ahead and do that one. And then you can go ahead and hit start once you select the different weapons that you want to use. Right now, as you saw, there's 3 of each. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to have the option to create a room, join a room. I'm going to go ahead and just, for the sake of this video, click on join a random room so I don't have to go through the process of creating a room. So go ahead and click on that. It's asking me if I'm ready. Basically, I'm the only one that's in here right now. So let's go ahead and click on ready. And we are going to go ahead and start the game itself. What you're going to notice right away, and I'm probably going to, yeah, I knew I was going to get some enemies right away. The problem is I can't see the enemies. And that was one of the feedbacks that I have. Let me go over here before I get beat up too much more. One of the things that you're going to notice right away is the look of the game. You can basically see that you have the arrows here. It's very, very much designed for mobile. So if you play this on Android and eventually iOS, this looks like a mobile game. You have the arrows down here. You have the buttons over here. My challenge, from my perspective, the PC features to it's not necessarily built for PC quite yet, but talking to Josh, they will be making adjustments. They'll be putting hotkeys in there, all that fun stuff that we need for PC. So that will be available. As far as the movement goes, it's the normal WSAD to move it around. The challenge is to use the weapons. You need to use your mouse and actually click on the different buttons and move it around, which if you're looking at an enemy up here and trying to click on a button, you're moving back and forth quite a bit, especially if you have a bigger screen. So that is one thing that they're going to adjust. The other bit of feedback that I had is I feel like I'm super zoomed in, like I'm too close. As you can see over here, this guy's attacking me. and I can't even see him. Actually, he's not attacking me right now, but you saw he was attacking me earlier, and I can't even see him. They did mention that they're potentially going to zoom it out, say 30%, to give us a better view. I understand why they haven't zoomed in so far. It's because they don't want you to see too far ahead, which makes sense because it is one of those types of games that you're supposed to be surprised with what's around every corner. You also notice with the bow and arrow that it is auto homing. Basically, it's auto aiming. So you can go ahead and shoot in different directions and still hit your target, which helps, especially if you can't see the target, like kind of what I'm fighting with right now. And then you have your normal weapon, which is just a simple shooting. And then you have the power move, which shoots out like that. And then I'll show you, this is the flame, which shoots all around you if you have a lot of enemies around you. And you'll see that they have timers on it or cooldowns on them, which is pretty clear when you click on it. And then you have the heal potion. You did see one of the monsters drop the heal potion. Let's go ahead to go in a different area. Click on that. So you'll see they'll drop different weapons. They don't drop different weapons yet, but they, at least not that I've seen so far. I've just seen heal potions drop so far. So you're just going around, and I believe this is auto-generated as far as the map goes. So we got, oh, that was pretty cool. That was a lot stronger than I expected it to be. See, that was interesting. That I haven't noticed before. I was literally pointing this direction, shot, and it goes whoop. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that yet. Like it's definitely convenient. As far as I can point this way. Oh, that time it didn't do it. But I can. It's a little too auto homing for me. And I guess it makes sense. Let's go ahead and use a potion. If I can't see, but I shouldn't be able to point that direction and shoot all the way down. I think that's a little too much. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Is it too auto homing or too auto aim for you? And it might be the style that they're going for. Again, I can't see too far ahead of me, so it might make sense. But what you see I'm doing is I'm just running around different areas. Right now, there's not a ton in the game as far as monster bosses or big treasures that you're going to be chasing down. But that'll be added. If you do get the Founders Pass and you do jump in here and test it out, you are eligible to get all of the updates that do get sent out. So more will come, especially as they continue to go through this demo alpha phase that we are currently in. I did hear that the bosses will be coming very shortly. Could be as soon as next week. So that's going to be neat to see as far as the bosses, because I heard they're huge, at least what I've seen from the videos, that they're pretty big and powerful. So I'm curious if they're going to drop anything. Wow, that was... I'm still getting a kick out of actually pointing a completely different direction and shooting. So I'm getting a kick out of that. I'm assuming at some point they'll have something that gets in up here. I don't know if that's a holder spot for different armor or what. But it's you're a pixel-based a character in a game where you're running around trying to gather different materials, and basically you're going to take them back to your ship eventually once that's available and craft different items with it. And you also go ahead and sell them to whoever on the ship is the merchant, to get the different tokens that you're going to need in order to continue forward with whatever item you're working for. The one thing that they did note is if I end up dying during this, once you pick an area that you want to go to, and you collect all the stuff, like you see I've been getting a ton of potions. If I end up dying without making it to the end and beating the boss, I lose it all. So you are not able to take it back unless you finish the level and beat the boss. So be aware of that. But if you do go ahead and beat the boss, you'll be able to take everything back to the ship and do whatever crafting that you need to do. I'm just running around here. Again, we just have different maps. The maps, I believe, are auto-generated. So every time you jump in there, they will be auto-generated. I don't know if that's available for this current version of the demo, but I think that'll be resolved and taken care of in the next version. So there's a lot to the game. Like I said, there's seasons. So every season that they have, you're going to go to a new planet, and apparently there will be some sort of way you can go ahead and, as a community, vote. If say there's 3 different options of planets for each season, the community will be able to vote because each of the planets is going to have a different type of material or different types of bosses or just basically different benefits and challenges for each of them. So you'll be able to pick that, and then you can go ahead there and gather it up for the whole season. Like I said, there's going to be crafting, there's going to be repairing. There's a whole lot of different things that are going to be included with it. So that's a high level. What I'm going to do is as they continue to provide different updates throughout this demo season, I'll go ahead and post different videos to give you a feel for what's changing, what's being upgraded, and what's coming out, so you can get a feel for if it's something that you want to go ahead and play. What are my personal thoughts on it? I think it has a lot of potential. There's very few games like this right now on the Wax blockchain, and they will be doing multiple blockchains. It's interesting that it seems like the items that drop don't degrade yet. It's been a little while since I've been here, so sorry, I digress. But they will be on multiple blockchains. They've already talked about jumping onto Polygon, which is my other favorite gaming blockchain. So a lot more to come with that. Again, my thoughts on the game. Sorry, I get a little distracted when I play. I think it's interesting. I think the Founders Pass might be priced a little too high for this moment. Again, just my personal opinion, but I think it has a lot of benefits that haven't really been discussed in the open forum. So if you like the style game and you like running around, you like the slashers, eventually there'll be multiple players in here, and there'll be a lot more of the multiplayer aspect to it. It's definitely worth checking out if you like that style of game and you want to get in there early and get all the benefits to it. As we were going through, I did mention a number of things I hope they would adjust to it, zoom out a little bit, get a little more player friendly with hotkeys. I don't like jumping around with that. But I can see it being a fun game as they continue to develop it, as the map is different every single time, as they add bosses and the crafting elements. I think it's going to be a fun game. It's definitely something that I'll keep an eye on and continue to test out as they're going through the process. Let me know down in the comments below. What are your thoughts of at least what your what your thoughts are as far as the game goes so far, what you saw from the game. Again, keep in mind, it is a demo alpha style version of it. Much more to come with it. Let me know. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.